it with mushrooms and no one will notice.
Nope.
Apparently Austrian dragons are really concerned with landscaping, but you know what? I appreciate their efforts.
It's good. It was a good try.
In French tradition, fairy rings were guarded by giant bug-eyed toads that cursed those who violated the circles. So at least there was a guard. So you'd be like walking.
None shall pass.
None shall pass my giant warty face. Thank you, giant bug-eyed toad. I shall go the other way now.
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass unless you want to go into fairyland and never return and possibly die immediately from dancing.
That doesn't sound good to me. Thanks for the warning.
I mean, that is a very specific warning. I'm sure the toad had to practice a lot.
Yeah.
In other parts of Europe, entering a fairy ring would result in loss of an eye. Apparently, they just were like, you know what? Fuck you. You trampled our mushrooms. We're taking your eye.
So, like, mystical loss of an eye or punitive? Like...
They just said loss of an eye.
Okay.
I'm gonna assume they, like, hop up and pluck it out. I don't know. Fairy rings are associated with diminutive spirits in the Philippines. Not shocking.
Okay.
You know, don't fuck up. Like, dude, so we gotta cover some Philippine myths, because they are fucked up.
That sounds right up your alley.
So much blood and gore, and it's amazing.
See, up your alley.
It is. So freedom from a fairy ring. So if you happen to wander in, your poor cow, or you yourself, if you've wandered in, are you dead? Are you stuck for life? Well, maybe. Escaping one oftentimes requires outside intervention.
Oh.
So, a tactic from the early 20th century Wales is to cast wild majorum and thyme into the circle to befuddle the fairies. Which, apparently, they don't like majorum or thyme. Maybe it messes with their delicate fairy sinuses and they just are sneezing and you can make a run for it.
Yes.
Another is the rescuer must touch the victim with iron. Again, similarly to ghosts, Supernatural is not a fan of iron.
Yeah.
That is a thing, though. Like, a lot of things always have iron on you to keep away the fae.
Wasn't that somehow related to why you were supposed to keep a horseshoe above the door?
Yeah,
that's why it was
spirits.
luck, and you had to have it upside down for...
I don't remember why it was the upside down, but the horseshoe itself is because it's made of iron.
I thought it was just so the luck didn't fall out.
Maybe it might be
I might be making that up.
It might be. I don't know. But I do know that the iron is because of bad spirits or because of fae.
All right.
Other stories. See, the fae are pissed that I'm giving away their secrets and they're jumping in my mouth like, shut up, bitch.
They are.
I need some iron. Can I chew on a fork or something?
Anyway. My forks are not iron.
I don't know. Other stories require that the enchanted victim simply be plucked out by someone on the outside. Like, whoa, bro, you've been dancing for like hours and could probably use a shower. Pluck.
But, okay, if you reach into it, though, don't you risk crossing and getting stuck yourself?
Apparently, if your feet stay on the outside and it's just your arm reaching in to grab someone, you're fine.
It doesn't count.
It's entering the circle, like, walking on it.
Otherwise, you gotta, like, lasso them?
Throw
that in, like,
catch!
Wrap it around you,
catch
I'll get you!
the anchor! We'll pull you out! This could be difficult, though. There are, that's not just as easy. There is a tale from Llangollen region of England.
Okay.
Where a farmer has to tie a rope around himself and enlist the help of 4 men to pull him from the circle as he goes in to save his daughter.
Oh.
So he has to go full on in and needs 4 dudes to pull them out.
Okay.
Maybe, like, have an iron rope. I don't know. Like,
that's like
barbed wire.
Oh, what was that movie? That old movie. There was like was it Poltergeist, maybe?
I never saw Poltergeist, but I could.
It was one of the old movies that Steve had me watch. I'd never seen it before because I have never seen any of the classics.
Right.
But, yeah, somebody got pulled into the other dimension, and so they had to go in after her. It was like the kid or something, with a rope tied around their waist, and he's like, I'm going in! And he was relying on everybody else to pull him out.
Okay, well, maybe. Clearly
inspired by.
This has been going on for centuries.
Yeah.
Other folk methods rely on Christian faith to break the enchantment, which is just another one of those, Christianity could save you from the fae. They're just trying to...
Yeah, they're co-opting.
Yeah, they are. A stick from a rowan tree, which was thought to be the wood which the cross of Jesus Christ was built, can break the curse. As can the simple phrase, "What in heaven's name?" So all you have to do is be a confused 50s housewife and you're free.
Maybe that's why it was a popular phrase.
Maybe, or they're like, oh, fuck, that is such a Karen. Get her the fuck away. I don't want Karens in my fairy realm. The 19th century tale from Carmarthenshire.
Wow.
Yeah, these are a lot of really old names. Stated that you had to wait, like the rescuer. So, all right, someone you know, love, slightly tolerate, have been paid to rescue, whatever. You can't go get them until it has been a year and a day from when the victim entered the ring.
They're gonna die!
Right? So you're gonna be there in a while, and hopefully you packed a snack.
Several
snacks.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, okay, if you've seen pictures of them, and I do have pictures and I'll show you, they're not huge. So is someone just standing there on the other side, like, how long has it been? 6 weeks, bro. I'll be back. Guess I'll just stand here and wait. Like,
okay, but on the other hand, like, if you don't even try to get out yourself, like, don't you kind of deserve a little longer?
This is the theory of you can't get out. You've tried the, what in heaven's name? And that didn't work. Apparently they decided that, you know, it was still worth it to try to take you over to Feyland, and I don't know.
Heaven forbid you try actually just stepping over it.
Right? Just to step? No, it's magic, and they've got you dancing now, and you're going to be dancing queen or king or whatever.
Okay.
Mortals who have danced with the fairies are rarely safe after being saved from their enthrallment.
Wait, as in, like, they're a danger to others, or as in the fairy will try to come back and get them?
More like you're still cosmically fucked, even if you get out of here.
So you're cursed.
So they find what they seem to be a brief foray into fairyland was indeed much longer in the mortal realm, possibly weeks or years. So, you could have been like, oh my god, we haven't seen you in 17 years, and you were like, I was gone for an hour.
Oh, well, then in that case, a year and a day would go by real quick.
Right, exactly.
You probably aren't hungry.
You probably didn't even have a chance to pee before they were coming back to get you.
Yeah.
The person rescued from Fairy Ring may have no memory of their encounter with the spirits. A long time has passed, so they've got no idea where the hell they were from. But you've seen this in a lot of literature, like Rip Van Winkle was kind of a tale of that because he was paying 9 pins in the Catskills with those strange men and their strange beer. And he took a nap, and then it was 100 years later that he woke up.
Okay, so I knew about the nap, and that it was really ridiculously long, but everything you said before that was brand new information.
Oh. Well, no, he didn't just fall asleep and decide.
I didn't know.
He was walking, and he ran into these weird men, and they were paying 9 pins, which was like a beginning of bowling. Like, it was
that makes sense.
Bowling.
Yeah, okay.
And they were giving him beer, and he was playing with them, and then he got a little bit too much beer, and he decided to lay down for a nap, and then 100 years later. So, kind of like, obviously, they were possibly fairies or elves or something.
Okay.
And then, in True Blood, I don't know if you watched this far in the show.
I've watched all of it.
Okay. So, remember, her grandfather went missing, but he was in the fairyland.
Yes.
And he had only thought he had been there for a couple days.
Yeah.
But it had been 40 years.
I remember that. Yeah.
It happens in a lot. A lot of things are like, oh, I was only gone for 3 days. And then on this side of the fairy ring, no, that was 3 years.
Yeah.
Or 30 years. There's no consistency to the time jump. It's just however dramatic they want the story to be. But either way, most tales, the saved interloper face a grim fate.
Uh-oh.
We've already discussed dying early. For example, in another legend from, here we go again, Carmarthenshire? Yes, there we go. A man is rescued from a fairy ring only to crumble to dust.
Shit!
Yeah.
It's like spontaneous combustion,
right?
but
Except
without the fire.
Maybe it was glitter. I don't know. Perhaps due to the time in the Fey realm being so much longer, and then maybe when he returned, it's like, oh, you can't walk, you're 400 years old.
Yeah.
Dust. In another tale from Matthevarin, a fairy ring survivor decays away when he eats his first bite of food.
Oh.
So something happens and he just disintegrates.
Okay.
Maybe he ate food in the fairyland and you can't eat food in the fairyland and then not eat food when you come back. I don't know.
That's weird.
Another vulnerability, again, with the iron. In a tale from, why are these names so hard? Aberystwyth region?
Okay.
I think that's Welsh. A touch from the metal causes a rescued woman to disappear. So imagine trying to return to normal life. You pick up a gardening spade and then poof, you're back in fairyland.
That sucks.
Yes. So now you are weak to iron, but you're weak in the sense of you get shot right back to where you were.
It's like instant teleport.
Instant teleport.
That sucks.
Some legends assert the only safe way to investigate a fairy ring is to run around it 9 times.
Okay.
This affords the ability to hear the fairies dancing and frolicking underground. So I don't know why it helps if you hear them.
Yeah.
According to a 20th century tradition, this must be done under a full moon, and the runner must travel in the direction of the sun. To go counterclockwise is the unlucky, and it's the way of the devil, and allows the fairies to place you under their sway.
Okay.
So if you run around it 9 times, they can't catch you, as long as you go clockwise. To circle the ring a 10th time is foolhardy and dangerous.
This is too much.
I know, it's like that scene in Monty Python with, like, the holy hand grenade of Antioch, and he's saying, "Thou shalt countest to 3, and not countest to 4. 1 is right out."
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, what the hell? Who decided 9? There's another tradition. Children constantly run this number 9 times, but nothing will induce them to venture a 10th run, meaning no double dog dare will get them to do it. They don't say what the 10th run does, other than don't do it.
Okay.
Another one from early 20th century England says that a mortal can see the spirits without fear if a friend places a foot on that of the person stepping beyond the circle's perimeter. So if I put my foot on you and I'm standing here on the outside, you can go in and see, as long as my foot is on your back. Or your foot, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
As long as my foot, if I'm on the outside of the circle, if I've got my foot on you, which really sounds like it could be set up for a disaster, because, like, they could just kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like, just kick you down and then run away, and now you're stuck.
You better hope they're a real friend.
Right? Let's see. Another superstition says that wearing a hat backwards can confuse the fairies and prevent them from pulling the wearer into the ring. Which maybe offends their sense of fashion, and they didn't want your stupid ass backwards hat in their realm.
I think it probably depends on the hat. Some hats don't really have a
I
backwards.
know, I was like, how do you have a backwards in, like... I really don't know.
It has to depend on the hat.
It has to depend on the hat. Maybe if you put it inside out, and they're like, okay, this fucker's obviously crazy, we won't want nothing with this shit. Although they have a strong association with doom, here we go with the legends that paint fairy circles as a place of fertility and fortune.
What?
Finally, some good news.
Okay.
I, again, think this might be the Not All Fae
Not All Fae.
propaganda.
Yep.
But in some areas, Welsh folk believe that a mountain sheep that eat the grass of a fairy ring flourish. Which, I mean, I assume sheep, that would mean good milk production, good fiber production. And then any crops sown from such a place prove more bountiful than those from a normal land. So, sheep and crops are safe, but humans should fuck right off. Don't go near it.
I mean, that's fair, though.
Although, a Athenian oracle claimed that a house built on a fairy ring brings prosperity to its inhabitants.
Okay.
Likewise, a legend from Pont-y-Wern says that in the 13th or 14th century, the inhabitants of a town called Corian, or Corian, there's a lot of really old English names, which means they're mostly German in a trench coat that they used to yell at Vikings. I can't.
Sorry.
The whole town watched fairies dancing in a ring around a glowworm every Sunday after church.
A glowworm?
A glowworm. And they even joined in the spirits and their reviles. And apparently this town was fine. It did not disappear. I don't know.
They were just the favorite.
They were the favorites. Apparently everyone else can fuck right off, but if you are a sheep, or some crops, or this one town,
With the glowworm.
With the glowworm, you're allowed to come and party and nothing bad will happen to you. Otherwise, stay the hell away.
Cool.
Yeah. And that's really it.
Just that simple.
I mean, it's just